Hey, this is Cheryl with Porch Talk. I don't really have a talk plan today. um, I missed yesterday because the weather was terrible here. It was so hot. And then on top of that, we had a couple of really strong storms blow through, and I spent a lot of time picking up plants and doing this and doing that. But so I thought I would make maybe a quick video. I don't know if it'll be quick or not. Sorry, I got to tuck my little ribbon in there. I wanted to just talk about gratefulness a little bit and about how we overlook things in our life. Hold on a second. I'm going to put this under my hat. I'm a weirdo like that. I don't like stuff. I don't like stuff messing up my shot. But anyway. So I just wanted to talk about gratefulness and how we overlook it every day in our lives. And I have learned to be grateful for everything. Things you just wouldn't normally, think about. We take stuff for granted and and are not present and grateful in the moment. I think that's very important. I treasure my friends and my family and all the wonderful things that I get to do. I get to make these videos every day. I get to live in this great place. I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful that it's almost painful. I know that's so weird to say, but I'm so filled with gratitude that, I get to do what I do. And I hope and pray that one day everybody will come to a point to where, they feel what I'm talking about, because it is pretty amazing. It's starting to sprinkle, but I'm going to try to, we're in the splash and dash time, so it may or may not, supposed to not rain until 3 o'clock, so we have a little bit of time. But I thought what I would do is, tell everybody that I know and you, the people that have come here to visit me today, how grateful I am for you and how grateful I am for your presence in my life and the things that you add to my life. Because we never know when they'll be gone. I recently had a friend who, worked with somebody for a couple of years and poof, gone like that. And love him or hate him, Lindsey Graham, senator from South Carolina, boom, somebody talked to him an hour early and he just crashed and burned and died. So we never know what's going to happen, and I have a friend who's getting ready to move back home and I'm already missing him. It's so silly, but I'm so grateful for all the time that we had together and the friendship that we've shared and will continue to share. We will continue to share that friendship. Even though, he's moving a ways away, he and I are good friends, and I have no doubt that we'll continue, our friendship. But I will miss his presence in my life for sure. So many times, we take for granted the people, right around us, and that, how precious people are. Yeah, we do. And so right now I'm listening to a group I ran across, it's a group called Bread. I know y'all know who it is from the 70s. Now, I was born in 1961, so I wasn't that old when they came out, but they were super popular for many, many years. And so my friend Giovanni plays the guitar, and so I don't know, somehow or another ended up on my feed, but I've been wanting to make one of these little guitars, and I'd make jewelry and I do wire work. So, I mean, isn't that gorgeous? Look at how beautiful that is. It turned out. I am so happy. Now, this is my test model, but so I did all the wire work, and then I did the resin pour on the body of the guitar. But so I guess that just popped up on my video, and I thought, you know what, my friend is leaving, and I think I'm going to try to make a guitar, see how it comes out. I've been wanting to do it for a while anyway, and it looked really difficult, but it did have a certain level of difficulty. But I've been making jewelry for a very long time, just like this. You know, I make the stones, I do all the wire work, and make the chains and all that. I do all that by hand. None of it's machine made at all, and I really enjoy that a lot. It's definitely a creative outlet for me. But so that's when the bread popped up, because they have a song called Guitar Man, and it's just such a wonderful thing. So I put this on and I'm listening to it, and it just reminds me, I guess I'm having a flashback, but wow, takes me back to, sometimes makes me grateful that I have some good memories, of those times, and grateful that I got to hear that music, when they were out and they were hot and they were the band. I don't think I ever got to see them in concert, but I know that I bought their album, all of them, every single one of them that came out. I bought them and had them. But I love that group. So I'm grateful for those memories. But so I want to just we're going to do some cards, because I really like doing that. It's quite fun. So the first one I'm going to do is concerning gratefulness, but it says, I'm grateful for the blessings that I have, or the blessings in my life. Of course I am. I'm grateful for everything that I have in my life. God has blessed me so much, over-blessed me, and I never want to overlook the fact that, that I have so much gratitude in my heart for, all of the talent that I have, and and all the knowledge that I have. I've worked hard at doing that. I mean, I've studied and I've learned and I've practiced, but I'm so blessed, and I love sharing my talents and my love and everything with everybody. That's what we're here for. So I hope that, in our journey of being grateful, that we can also be grateful that we can share that with people. It doesn't cost us anything. And it's worth more than any amount of money. Being grateful, being kind, being happy. Smile is free. And it makes a big difference in people. People having a bad day. You never know what somebody's been through. But I love this one. It says, start each day with a positive thought and a grateful heart. And I think that's so wonderful, which I do. I do every day. Before I get out of bed, I say thank you for allowing me to have one more day. And because we never know when it's going to end. We never know when God is going to say, your lotto ticket's up. And while I'm here, I want to make a difference. And I want to, let people know that I love them and I care about them. And I think it's, like I say, we overlook that a lot. And I just want to remind you to hug people, to love people, to tell people that you love them. If you love them and they mean something to you, it doesn't mean that you have to be in love with them. It's not like that. But, your friends, I have friends, I tell them I love them every time we depart, because I know how precious it is that you're here today and then you're not here tomorrow. And then you wish that you had had that opportunity to tell somebody that you love them. And, so a lot of people think that if you say I love you too much, it becomes cheap. And some people overuse the phrase love. And I don't tell everybody that I love them. If I tell you I love you, that means you're very special to me. But for those who I do say it to, I mean it with all my heart. Every fiber in my being, it means I love you. And there's different kinds of love. We all know that. But I think it's important to let people know. And, I did end of life home care for 20 years and saw a lot of people who, were dying and literally died right in front of me. But family members who came in that hadn't seen them in 20 years and they're asking for forgiveness and it's just tragic. So I never ever want to come to that place. I always want to let that person know that I'm grateful that they were part of my life, while they're here. Don't say I'm grateful after they're gone, because they don't know it, right? Don't love me after I'm gone. Love me now. Be thankful and grateful for me now. I'm here, And that's what I tell people. You got to appreciate people while they're here in your life and treasure those moments. Life seems like it's a long, long time. And listen to me. Yesterday I was 20. The next day I was 30. And here I am. I'm 65 now. That's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. I don't feel it. I don't think I look it. But chronologically, I am. I don't intend on succumbing to age. I think age is really, a lot of it's in your head. And I refuse to play that game. I'm not going to. I'm going to do everything that I can possibly do in my life to show gratitude by taking care of myself for the wonderful life that I've had. And also to ensure that the years that I have left are going to be, magnificent as well. So life is not over. I'm telling you, at 65, but you got to take care of yourself, and you got to, start before you turn 65 or you retire, and, and get on with it. And realize that how you work up to it and all of that, how your physical strength, your mobility, all that is going to affect the quality of your life as you mature. I hate to use that word, old. I will stop somebody if they say, oh, old. I'm like, not here. Same thing if they talk about anything to do with age or old, and I am not buying into that crap. Sorry. No way, Jose. I love it today. It's overcast and it is not hotter than hell here. Than Hades, excuse me. Because boy, it has been hot the last few days. The humidity is even good. So anyway, I'm going to carry on. So I have some, just some cards. It's from a new deck that I got. And it's about inner strength. You are worth it. Different little sayings, but I'm going to go through these and I'm just going to, talk a little bit about it. But this is inner strength. It says, you're stronger than you know with hopeful courage. These are great to give to somebody is struggling, somebody who's having an off day, or just, for encouragement. But people need to be reminded how strong they are, and that, yes, life is so hard sometimes. It's so hard. It's so difficult. But, you got to remember that these are just seasons that you pass through, and that there's a lesson to be learned every single day, every single lesson, and that you have to really hold on sometimes to your inner strength and not let the world beat you down. So just remember that. And, if you have a hard time, it's super important, like I say, to remember, that you have a lot of internal strength, even though it may not feel like it sometimes. This one, it says, bright future. You're moving forward with hopeful dreams. This is so important. Let me put it up here. But it's important to dream no matter where you are in your life. Create a bright future. It's up to you. It really is. Don't feel that where you come from, your situation, whatever is just going to consume you, and that you should just give up, because it's just not true. It's not true. As you go, things will change. Life changes, you know. Have a dream. Don't be afraid to dream, because when you don't dream, it will leave you, as you mature, it will leave you in a state of absolute regret, of saying, why didn't I do that? Why? It's just like making jewelry. I've always wanted to do that. I'm an artist. I mean, I do all kinds of things. I paint, I do textured, I mean, I do just everything. And I'm not afraid to try, but I try. And so if I don't do good the first time and I'm interested in it, I'll do it again. But, you know, I do it again and again and again. And, you know, I move my craft forward. But so I seized doing these videos. I don't know if they're good or not. I hope they are. I hope you guys like them. I enjoy it so much, but I was afraid for many years. But that was back when it was before I lost all my weight, and I was very insecure. And I felt, because I had made videos before for our restaurant, and I did not like what I saw. Now I'm okay. I'm okay. I've lost 148 pounds now. So I'm super happy, and I'm in pretty good shape. You know, you can imagine what it does to your body to lose 144 pounds. You just have to exercise, and I take a lot of peptides. I, you know, moisturize a lot. There's a lot of things you got to do to kind of get everything back where it was. And I know I'm 65, it'll never all go back, but I have to keep trying, right? But anyway, bright future. You're moving forward. Dreams are huge. Don't ever give up on your dream. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're too old to dream. It's just not true. It's the people who are afraid to dream that will tell you that. It's the people who want you to stay small that will tell you it's not possible. Don't listen to people. Don't listen to people. Dream big. Life is big. Dream big. God is big. God can help you meet your dreams. Yes, absolutely. This one I love. It says, peaceful. You are at peace within, with gentle serenity. This took me a long time to feel at peace. Mostly because of, I think, the shame and the guilt, and I let my bad decisions of my past life consume me, and I didn't know what to do, and I had no peace. I had no serenity. All I had was the replay in my mind about stuff that people had done to me or stuff that I did to other people, and it took me a long time to unravel that, and that's why I took the 5-year hiatus. I really did. To make sure that I had all of those things in check before I decided to maybe have a relationship with somebody or to let anybody close to me, because I had to know myself, and I was attracting the wrong people. So I really decided that I needed to take that time and unwrap that package slowly, and I did, and I'm so glad that I did. And no, I haven't met anybody. Well, I haven't. I have a good friend, you know, and we're super good friends. But anywho, I have not met anybody that I would date as of yet, because honestly, I like my agency. In 5 years, I have gotten to the point to where I like my own space. I like cooking what I like. I like doing my laundry when I want. I like doing exactly what I want. And that's the kind of the double-edged sword, I guess, of being single for so long, is that you want to maintain that. And I do. I don't think I'll ever get married again. I don't know how serious in a relationship I'll get. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but um, but I have to have somebody who enjoys their agency, who isn't going to try to consume me, because that's the problem. People consume you, and they consume your peace, and they consume your dreams. And then before you know it, you're like, where is Cheryl at? And then you gotta, and then you either have to live the nightmare that you've created, or you gotta, do what I did, and you gotta step back and step away and go, that's not gonna happen. So, I enjoy my peace. I really do. Peace is so important to me. I have a place that is just very, very peaceful, surrounded by peaceful. My house is peaceful. I don't allow strife or stress to come into my world. I've worked very hard at it, because you know what I did before? I ate stress for breakfast. I used to tell people that. No problem. I eat stress for breakfast. What a horrible thing. But you know what? Now I don't. I get up in the morning and I eat gratefulness and serenity and peace. I love it. It's a big, big change. And I think too that when you have that kind of attitude as you mature, that I think it helps reduce your stress, so that your stress isn't consuming you. Because stress is a killer. It's a killer, especially as you hit 60-ish, and you need to start, something in my tooth, and you need to start, leveling out your life is what I'm going to call it. You got to level stuff out. So it takes time. Start early. Don't wait till it's late, but start working on your peace now. It's super important. This one, I love. It says, you are brave. Your courage is inspiring. Listen, every day we get up out of bed and we face the world, we are brave. The world is a place that will eat you up and churn you out really quick if you're not careful. You have to learn, you gotta learn how to deal with stuff. But being brave and facing challenges, learning how to cope with stuff without using diversionary tactics, all super important for your well-being. But I love watching people who are courageous, like people who have cancer. Oh my God, children who are sick, amputee people in military, so courageous. And I think I never had a problem when I look at the stuff that they've been through. And I just shut my mouth. Say thank you, Lord, for everything that I have. Again, I go into gratefulness, because I wasn't given that big bucket of worms to deal with, but God has a special plan for them. So I have friends like that, and I love friends like that, because I treat them just like I treat everybody else. They get treated differently, and it's just not fair. I knew a lady who was in a burn accident, and it literally burnt her face off. And I worked in a beauty salon, and she came in one day, and she had hair, not like regular hair, but she did have some hair, and she wanted some recommendations, but she always would say hi, and then she'd walk by real fast. And one day she stopped and she talked to me, and she came in and she wanted some nail polish or something like that. And to be perfectly honest, her burns were shocking. They're shocking. Her burn her ears off, everything. I think it was a house fire, she told me. Something she had nothing to do with. And she said, thank you for treating me like a human being. And I just hugged her and I said, girl, I don't know what happened, but I love you, and you've got such courage and bravery, to go out every day. And she said, people treat me like I'm a monster. Oh, people. What a terrible thing that we do when people are not like us. How brave she is just to put her clothes on and look at herself in the mirror and go outside. But I helped her pick her polish out, and then she came in regular, and we talked all the time. But I watched people, children were scared of her, and everybody stared at her, but she just kept on doing what she did. And you know, she was a wonderful person. She was a wonderful client of mine, and I loved her. And then I got transferred to another salon, but wonderful person. But people treat people like that, double amputee people who have accidents, whatever goes on. Treat those people just like you would treat anybody else, because they're still them inside. Have some compassion for people. It's just so true. You know, open the door for people who are in wheelchairs or handicapped. Bring them their food out to their car. I used to work at Smoothie King. If you were in a wheelchair, or I knew you were recovering from cancer and you were weak that day, I'd bring you your food out to you and honor your bravery and your courage for what you are going through. So many people don't care. They don't care. They're like, not my problem. Yeah, it happens to you one day. Yeah. Not saying it happens to everybody, but you know what? It'll happen to you or somebody that you love, and then you're going to be like, oh, I get it now, But, so moving on, I could go on and on and on about that forever. This one is you're never alone. You're surrounded by love with constant support. So, never being alone. You're never, ever alone, because you always have God. Always got God. You can always reach out and make friends. Hopefully you have a family that loves you and supports you. But in the cases that you don't, there's always avenues that you can find people. And there's, churches. But God is always there for you. Always there. Come and watch me. I love you. I love you. I love everybody. I do. I love everybody. But you don't have to be alone. I kind of, in 5 years, I'm not going to say shut myself completely off, because I had a public job, but as far as friends and people in my life, I didn't have any, because I didn't want to deal with it. I just wanted to deal with me. But I developed a relationship with God, and I developed a relationship with me. Very important. I didn't have that. I knew that I needed to learn to sit with myself. Now, is that being alone? Well, it is being alone, but it's something that I feel that people in society need to do now, because we're always looking for something to fill all the gaps, to fill all the holes, to fill our uncomfortableness. We talk to fill all that in. We do this, we do that, instead of, when you sit still, you hear things. You know what you hear? You hear your conscience going on. You hear God talking to you. You hear things from the past that mortify you. I mean, so I tell you, don't wait to have that alone time, that you time, but don't let yourself be alone. They say that loneliness, especially with more mature people, it adds to depression and health problems too. If you know a senior citizen, or, I am 65 and I am a member of this, I go to the senior center, but I like to go there and just volunteer my time and say, hey, how are you doing today? What's going on? Do you need a drink? Do you need something? They play games, they have all kinds of activities, and just go there to help people. That's what I love to do. I love to give of myself, because you know what? Lord have mercy one day. I pray I'll never be there. I pray I never will be, but you never know, And therefore, what is it? Therefore, but the grace of God go I. It could be me. It could be somebody that you love. It could be your mom. Would you want somebody to treat your mom or your sister or somebody that good? Of course you would. So, you know what? Pay it forward, and that's awesome. But nobody has to be alone. There's plenty of avenues, to find company. Another one is you are worthy. You are precious and loved with, I'm sorry, some of the print is so small, with endless kindness. So important that we all know that we are valuable, and we are worthy. We are worthy of life. We are worthy of happiness. We're worthy of all the good things in life. But being raised, sometimes you feel like you're not worth anything. And it's hard to overcome that. But as you grow, hopefully you will develop pathways that you can heal that and discover your worthiness. We're all precious in the eyes of God, and we are loved by God. So precious. God loves us every single day. Never forget that. And remember, you're worthy. You're worthy of everything. God put us here to have rich, bountiful lives, and it's us that puts us in a box, or our family puts us in a box, or things that people do to us put us in a box. But ultimately, we put ourselves in that box, and we keep ourselves there because we don't feel like we're worthy. It is getting ready to come up on the time that this is going to cut off, but please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this. And I am going to continue this in a part 2 because the weather's so beautiful. I cannot give up doing an extra video. But I love you all. Thank you for joining Porch Talk today. Be grateful. Love people. I love you. All right. I love you. I heart you. I'm a silly girl. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Please join me daily on Porch Talk. I do new talks, or I have new content. All right. So thank you, bless you, and come back and see me again. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.